Before the world speaks, there is a moment of stillness. In that stillness, everything is revealed. Most people never notice it. They rush past it. They drown it out with noise, reaction, emotion. But there are others. Few, quiet. They pause. And while the world burns around them, they remain unmoved. Why? What kind of mind does not flinch when chaos knocks? What kind of soul does not beg for comfort when pain arrives? What kind of person can stand inside the storm and feel only the weight of their own breath? This is not numbness. This is not coldness. This is something far older, far sharper. If you value calm strength, if you're drawn to discipline of the inner world rather than noise of the outer one, you may want to stay here and perhaps return again. Imagine iron placed into fire. The flame does not hate the iron. The fire does not intend cruelty. It simply reveals what the iron is made of. Most people believe suffering is punishment. The quiet ones know better. They understand that pain is not the enemy. Illusion is. The illusion that everything must be controlled. The illusion that emotions must be obeyed. The illusion that reaction equals strength. The unshakable mind begins with a brutal realization. Most of what you fear was never in your hands to begin with. The weather, the past, the opinions of others, time itself. Why wrestle shadows? The calm individual does something radical. They draw a line. On one side, what can be shaped? Thought, choice, response, character. On the other, everything else. And they let the rest fall. Not with bitterness, with clarity. How much energy have you wasted fighting what was never yours to command? How much peace have you traded for the illusion of control? The Stoic mind does not chase certainty. It builds stability within uncertainty. Like a mountain that does not argue with the storm. It simply stands. To the outside world, this restraint is often misunderstood. Silence is labeled weakness. Calm is mistaken for indifference. Emotional discipline is confused with repression. But suppression is force. Mastery is understanding. One buries emotion alive, the other studies it until it no longer needs to scream. The unshakable person feels deeply, more deeply than most. They simply refuse to be ruled by what they feel. Anger visits, they observe it. Fear arrives, they examine it. Grief lingers, they sit with it. No panic, no performance. Why should emotion be a commander when it was meant to be a messenger? A mind that reacts instantly is a mind that can be manipulated endlessly. A mind that pauses cannot be owned. Silence becomes a weapon, not against others, but against chaos itself. And in that silence, power gathers. There is a war most people never see, not fought with fists or weapons, but with attention. Every day the world demands your reaction. Outrage, validation, fear, impulse. The disciplined mind refuses the bait. It understands something unsettling. The loudest forces are rarely the strongest. Fire burns bright and disappears. Iron glows quietly and endures. Time favors those who do not rush it. Patience is not waiting. Patience is remaining whole while waiting. Ask yourself, and when pressure rises, do you fracture? Or do you condense? This is the difference between being hardened and being hollow. If this way of seeing resonates with you, if calm feels more powerful than noise, you already know why you're here. Suffering to the untrained mind feels like collapse. To the disciplined one, it is rehearsal. Every loss sharpens perception. Every setback removes illusion. Every disappointment teaches proportion. What truly matters survives. What never mattered dissolves. This is why the unshakable person does not fear darkness. They have walked it before. They know that decay precedes rebirth. That winter strips the unnecessary. That pressure reveals structure. Pain does not make them bitter. It makes them precise. And precision is dangerous. Midway through this journey, pause. What are you facing right now? Not publicly, internally. What pressure is testing your character? What storm is asking who you really are? If you feel inclined, leave a quiet trace of it behind. Not for validation and for reflection. Naming a struggle does not weaken it. It clarifies it. There is a strange freedom in accepting impermanence when you no longer demand permanence from people, from circumstances, from comfort. You stop breaking when they change. The unshakable mind does not cling. It prepares. It invests not in outcomes, but in readiness. What remains when everything external is stripped away? Your discipline, your judgment, your ability to choose your next move without panic. That is the core, and it cannot be taken. Look closely at those who remain calm under pressure. They are not lucky. They are practiced. They have lost before. They have been humiliated, disappointed, wounded. But instead of turning outward, they turned inward. They asked the hardest question. What part of this is mine to shape? And then they shaped it. Again, and again, and again, until reaction gave way to resolve. Near the end of all things, noise fades. Only character remains. If this message carries weight for you, if you believe someone you know is fighting a quiet battle, share it with them, not to motivate, to remind. And if you choose to stay and to return, do so not for comfort, but for clarity. The world will continue to test you. It always has. Storms will come without permission. Loss will arrive without explanation. Time will take what it takes. But there is a difference between being fragile and being forged. The unshakable are not untouched by pain. They are acquainted with it. They have stood in the fire long enough to stop fearing the heat. And that is why they endure. Because long before the breaking point, they learned how to stand inside it. And when the breaking point arrives, as it always does, it does not announce itself. It comes quietly, in exhaustion, in disappointment. In the moment you realize no one is coming to save you, this is where most people collapse. Not because the weight is unbearable, but because they never trained to carry it. The disciplined mind recognizes this moment instantly, not with panic, with recognition. This again. Because true strength is not built during peace. Peace only reveals what was built during hardship. The calm individual does not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" They ask, "What is this demanding of me?" Patience, endurance, restraint, letting go. Every trial is a message, every wound a refinement. Nothing is wasted. There is a loneliness that comes with this path. When you stop reacting, people project onto your silence, and they call it arrogance, distance, emotional absence. They do not realize your quiet is not emptiness. It is containment, like a sealed chamber holding pressure, like a blade kept in shadow. The unshakable do not explain themselves. Explanation is often a form of begging. They let time speak instead. Time exposes noise. Time honors consistency. Time bends toward those who do not rush it. And slowly, the same people who doubted your silence begin to feel unsettled by it, because restraint unsettles those who live in reaction. Control is not domination. Control is the ability to feel everything and still choose your next move with precision. The world tries to pull you outward, into arguments, impulses, identity shaped by approval. The disciplined mind pulls inward, not to escape reality, but to anchor within it. This is inner freedom, not freedom from pain, freedom from being owned by it. You may lose status. You may lose comfort. You may lose people, but you will not lose yourself. And that is the trade the unshakable willingly make. Eventually, something changes. You stop fearing what once terrified you, not because it disappeared, but because you understand it. You see anger as heat without direction, fear as imagination without discipline, suffering as pressure without perspective. Once named, these forces shrink. What was once overwhelming becomes manageable. What was once paralyzing becomes familiar. Like darkness in a room you've memorized by touch. There is a moment, subtle, irreversible, when you realize something profound. You no longer need life to be gentle in order to remain whole. You can stand in loss without begging it to end. You can face uncertainty without demanding answers. You can move forward without applause. This is when the mind becomes difficult to fracture. Not because it is rigid, but because it is grounded, like roots beneath a mountain. And so when chaos returns, as it always will, you meet it without ceremony. No dramatic resistance, no internal collapse, just presence, just choice, just control over the one thing that has always been yours. Stoic individuals are not unbreakable because they avoid pain. They are unbreakable because they stopped running from it. They faced it early, They studied it closely. They let it carve them clean. And when the world tries again to break them, it finds nothing loose to shatter. Only structure, only weight, only resolve. Pain did not destroy them. It taught them where to stand. And from that place, life looks different. Noise loses its urgency. Urgency loses its power. What once demanded reaction now waits for permission. You begin to understand something unsettling. Most battles are optional. Most provocations are invitations, not obligations. The disciplined mind learns the art of refusal. Not refusal of responsibility. Refusal of chaos. It chooses where to bleed, where to invest energy, where to remain still. Stillness is not passivity. It is positioning. Like a general who does not rush the field, because they already see the outcome. There is a strange comfort in knowing that nothing external can complete you or destroy you. Praise becomes light, insults become smoke, loss becomes weather. You stop building your identity out of moments that can collapse overnight. Instead, you build something slower. Character. Character does not shine. It holds. It holds when plans dissolve. When people leave, when outcomes refuse to cooperate. It does not need witnesses. This is why time becomes an ally. While others chase acceleration, the unshakable allow time to erode what is false. They are not in a hurry to be understood. They are not anxious to be admired. They know something most forget. What is real does not need urgency. Truth survives neglect. Strength survives silence. There will be moments when restraint feels like loss, when silence feels like surrender, when walking away feels like defeat. But look closer. What you are walking away from was never aligned with who you are becoming. Every refusal is a sharpening. Every boundary, a reinforcement. This is how the mind becomes dense, hard to penetrate, hard to disturb. You begin to notice how people reveal themselves. Those who need constant reaction grow uncomfortable around you. Those who thrive on conflict lose their leverage. You are no longer predictable. And unpredictability, when rooted in discipline, is quietly formidable. Eventually, even suffering changes shape. It still arrives, but it no longer threatens your core. It circles the perimeter, testing for weakness, and finding none. It moves on, not because you are invincible, but because you are integrated. There is nothing inside you fighting itself anymore. The ultimate power of the Stoic mind is not resistance. It is alignment. Thought aligned with action, emotion aligned with judgment, desire aligned with reality. Nothing wasted, nothing exaggerated, just presence sharpened by experience. And so when the world demands that you break, you do not argue. You simply remain, because long ago you learned the difference between what can be taken and what cannot. Everything external is negotiable. Your inner position is not. That is the final lesson. That is the quiet truth. What stands firm within cannot be collapsed from without. And when even this understanding settles, there is no triumph, no sense of arrival, only steadiness. You realize the journey was never about becoming untouchable. It was about becoming undistracted. Undistracted by praise, undistracted by fear, undistracted by the constant demand to perform your inner life for the world. The calm mind no longer asks, "Am I winning?" It asks, "Am I aligned?" Alignment is quiet. It does not announce itself. It does not need witnesses. There is a subtle danger most never notice. When pain fades, when stability returns, when life softens its grip, that is when discipline is truly tested. Comfort seduces. Ease dulls attention. Momentum invites carelessness. The unshakable understand this. They do not relax their inner guard. Just because the battlefield goes silent, they keep their edge clean, their habits sharp, their judgment awake, not from paranoia, from respect for reality, because they know the storm never sends warnings. Over time, something rare forms, a mind that does not overestimate threat, a heart that does not underprepare for loss, a presence that does not beg to be felt. People sense it before they understand it. Your calm unnerves them, not because it is aggressive, but because it cannot be rushed. You move at your own pace now, governed by principle, not pressure, and pressure loses its leverage when it can no longer accelerate you. This is why silence becomes heavier than speech. When you speak less, every word carries weight. When you react less, every movement is deliberate. You are no longer leaking energy into moments that do not deserve it. You have learned economy of force, like water carving stone, not by impact, but by persistence. At some point you stop explaining your philosophy, not because others wouldn't listen, but because you no longer need agreement to remain intact. Understanding is internal now. You live the answer. And if one day everything collapses again, status, security, certainty, you will feel it, you will grieve it, but you will not lose orientation, because your center was never built on what could fall. It was built on what remained after everything else did. This is the quiet truth most never hear. Strength is not loud. Resilience is not dramatic. Mastery does not announce itself. It simply endures. And when time looks back to see what survived the pressure, it does not find those who avoided pain. It finds those who walked through it without abandoning themselves, those who learned slowly, deliberately, how to stand when standing was all that remained. And what can stand alone in the dark does not fear the return of the light. And in that darkness, something final becomes clear. You were never meant to be protected from life. You were meant to be shaped by it. The unshakable do not curse the night. They listen to it. Because the night strips away performance. It removes the audience. It leaves only you and what you have cultivated in silence. Here masks dissolve. Here excuses do not survive. Only habits remain. Only character responds. This is why the disciplined mind spends so much time alone. Not in isolation, in refinement. Solitude is the forge where thoughts are tested without distraction. Where emotion can speak without being obeyed. Where you learn the difference between wanting peace and being capable of it. Many seek comfort, few build capacity. Capacity is what allows you to sit with discomfort without needing to escape it, to endure uncertainty without demanding relief, to hold grief without letting it hollow you. This is not endurance as punishment. It is endurance as literacy. You learn the language of pressure. You learn what it asks of you. And once you understand it, it loses its authority. There is a moment, quiet, irreversible, when you realize you no longer fear being misunderstood, because clarity inside has replaced explanation outside. You no longer need to prove strength. You are too busy maintaining it. And maintenance, like all real work, is invisible. People will still test you. Some deliberately, some unconsciously. They will push, provoke doubt, not because you are weak, but because you are still. Stillness invites projection. Let them project. Their reactions say nothing about your center. Eventually, you become difficult to disturb, not because you resist disturbance, but because you expect it. Expectation neutralizes shock. Shock is what breaks people, not impact. You are rarely shocked anymore. You have seen enough to know that nothing external arrives clean. Everything carries weight, everything carries cost, and you are prepared to pay it without resentment. This is the final transformation. You stop asking life to be fair. You stop asking pain to justify itself. You stop asking outcomes to define you. You meet reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. And in doing so, you reclaim something rare, inner sovereignty. The world may still try to fracture you. It will fail, not because you are hard, but because you are whole. There are no cracks left to exploit, no unresolved battles raging inside you. Only alignment, only awareness, only a steady hand on the inner wheel. So remember this, when the next storm comes, and it will, you do not need to raise your voice. You do not need to harden your heart. You do not need to flee. You need only to stand where you have already stood before. The mind that has faced its own darkness is never surprised by the dark again. And now, the last chapter. There is no revelation left to chase, no hidden technique, no final victory, only a truth that settles quietly. like dust after collapse. The strongest mind is not the one that never bends. It is the one that bends without breaking its shape. By now you understand, life never stopped testing you, because the testing was never the point. The point was who you became while enduring it. You learned when to move, when to wait, when to speak, and when silence was the sharper answer. You learned that control is not force, but consent, deciding what deserves access to your inner world and what does not. You learned that pain does not ask permission, but meaning does, and you chose meaning. At the end of this path, there is no armor to show, no trophy, no applause, only a presence that does not need defending. You walk lighter now, not because life is easier, but because you stopped carrying what was never yours. Fear still exists, loss still happens, uncertainty still breathes, but none of it owns you, because you already faced the worst quietly and remained intact. This is why stoic individuals are misunderstood. People expect strength to roar, to dominate, to overwhelm, but real strength stands still, while everything else shakes. It does not demand recognition. It does not chase relief. It endures. And when the final storm comes, the one meant to end you, you will not dramatize it. You will not curse it. You will not run. You will meet it with the calm of someone who has already survived themselves. That is why you cannot be broken, not because you avoided pain, but because you walked through it until it had nothing left to teach you. What has already endured the fire no longer fears the flame.